Hey everyone, hope you're doing well and that you had a good Easter. Hopefully you were able to celebrate it in your own unique way at home, with family, and maybe an online church service. I pray that that was a good day for you and that you're able to reflect on really what Easter means to you in this strange season of life. This week, if you read in our blog, we've been going through stories of the Bible and really kind of how those affect maybe a reminder of some stories, and then also how they reflect in our lives. And this week I've talked about 4 short stories that all happen in the book of Mark, and they happen back to back to back. It takes place in Mark chapters 4 and 5. And basically during this time, Jesus doesn't do a lot of talking. He does a lot of doing, a lot of action. Mark, almost in his whole gospel, kind of puts importance more on what Jesus did than what he said. And so I talked a little bit about what that means for us. It's the story of Jesus. He crosses the Sea of Galilee, goes from one side to the other, and that night there's the storm that he calms, right? We know that story. But when they land on the other side, a man with demons in him, so he's possessed, comes out of the local tombs. He's basically this kind of crazy person living in a cemetery, and Jesus heals him and casts the demons out. And then Jesus goes back across the other side of the lake, across the Sea of Galilee, and he heals the woman who had been sick for 12 years, and then raises Jairus' daughter from the dead. So all in this 2 to 3 day period, he does these 4 miracles without saying a lot about himself. He shows his power over nature, over creation when he calms the storm. He shows his power over the devil, or kind of darkness, by casting out demons. He shows his power over sickness when he heals the woman, and he shows his power ultimately over death when he brings back Jairus' daughter. And so he does all these things, but he doesn't make this claim of, I am the Son of God. He just does them. So what does that mean for us right now in our life? It may seem easier to kind of, when we think about our faith and we think about our relationship with God, that we can talk more about it right now, right? There's not a lot to do. But what if God is calling us to do something with our faith? What might that look like? Should we think about how we can do things more so people notice? Is it our prayer life? Is it maybe the way we're treating our siblings or parents? What's something that we can do right now rather than just talk about? And so when you read the blog entry, that's kind of where we're going this week with those 4 stories. There's also some discussion questions that you can read and go through on your own or with parents sometime, which would be good. The movie this week is The Goonies. It's an older movie, but it's pretty, I've watched it recently and it's pretty still really good and funny actually. It's a story about this group of kids that basically go on a treasure hunt, okay? They found this old treasure map and they're off to seek treasure to kind of save their neighborhood from being turned into a golf course, right? Their parents don't have enough money to pay, and basically they want to build a golf course where their home is. And so these kids go off and they're all different, right? There's very different personalities, but they end up working together as kind of this band of misfits or this team in order to get to where this treasure is. And you'll see in the movie how that kind of plays out. But when you watch it, think about how each different character, or each Goonie, right? That's what their kind of nickname is, the Goonies. How do they interact with each other? How are they important to each other? How does their working together really get them to where they want to go? And kind of ask yourself, could they have done it on their own? And then think about really where you are right now in your own life, and think about whether it's your group of friends, whether it's your family. How have I gotten to where I am with the help of others? And then also, how do I play a role, right, kind of in my group of people? Whether that's your family, friends, prior sports teams, or groups like choir and band, like how am I a part of this bigger team? Maybe it's even how am I a part of this bigger thing called Christianity? And they work together in the movie, and it's a fun movie to watch, but just be thinking to yourself, how do these people play a role in each other's life, and how do they all kind of fit in together? And then also, how am I fitting into the groups in my life? And what roles do I play there? So hope you have a good week. We'll see you next week, and have a good one.